Howdy everybody, I'm Terry Jordan, host of Stockshow Confidential. This week, we're in the land of 10,000 lakes. We're at the great state of Minnesota, Minnesota State Fair to be exact. And as we take you inside the barns, take a look at all these youngsters and these great animals that they have in this state. Well, I can tell you that 1 out of every 4 people here are involved in agriculture in some way or another. Now follow us along as we take an inside look at the Minnesota State Fair. It's going to be a good one.
I was a 4-H'er growing up, and the 4-H here at the Minnesota State Fair is a big part of my life. I take a week of vacation and come back and make sure that the kids' stories is told here throughout the great state of Minnesota.
It's the first day of the Minnesota State Fair 2012. We're excited that you're here. Well, this year we're anticipating another huge turnout, 1.7 million people probably coming through the gates, enjoying the facilities, having a lot of food, going on rides, checking out the educational components that we have here.
You know, the Great Minnesota Get Together is just a fun time to kind of wind down the summer and get ready for fall, back to school. And as they come to the fair, a lot of people think of corn dogs and pronto pups. And what these 4-H'ers and their parents are doing is showing their commitment of what they're doing as a citizen to this great state, to their communities, to figuring out that they're a viable part of the farm gate to plate piece as we look at where does your food come from. And these exhibitors come together, they network with each other, they do the best job possible to make sure that they put agriculture, their livestock projects themselves in the right light.
I think one of the most important things is the youth, is the 4-H and FFA and the other youth that are involved with the fair. We have livestock turnover during the fair, 4-H is in, and then they're out. The FFA comes in the latter part of the fair, and then we have open class in the middle for a lot of the livestock. Poultry and rabbits, they're here pretty much through the whole event.
Here at the Minnesota State Fair, there are more than 5,786 4-H exhibits. 2,780 or so of those are actually livestock exhibits. So imagine the number of kids that are here showing their animals off to the public.
We exhibit from, you know, pickles to pigs, you name it, we have a wide variety of things there.
Some of our great things right now are we're focused on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you're going to find things, if you go to the 4-H building, you would find things on robotics, you would find things on woodworking. You would see, I saw up there, a covered wagon that someone made to celebrate part of their heritage of what they have. And then when you come back down here to the livestock barn, you're going to see everything from pigs and dairy cattle, llamas, chickens, sheep, goats, all of those pieces.
They did a study a few years ago on the impact of the fair in Minnesota and in different fairs, and it's huge. You know, the dollar turns many, many times from the events like this. It's important in Minnesota.
So 11,000, Lyle, 11,000.
We have a livestock auctions where funds are raised for the different programs and back to the exhibit themselves. People come from many, many areas and even foreign countries to see the Minnesota State Fair.
And I think one of the things that's unique about the Minnesota State Fair from a 4-H perspective is that 4-Hers have to earn their trip here. There's a quota system. Based upon the number of enrollments in each of these projects is the base upon how we get the number of students that are coming to here to the Minnesota State Fair. 4-Hers have to make a choice of one animal that they bring here to the Minnesota State Fair. And so there's a pretty big process that they go through to get here, earning their trip. They also have to do a livestock interview in order to be considered a purple ribbon animal.
Your first time at the State Fair, you're going to be amazed at how many people are here. And you'll see the consumers, you'll see the producers, all of us mixing together, sharing what we know about agriculture with everybody. It's a huge tradition in Minnesota State Fair, and so people come back year after year to see friends and family get-togethers and just to see and exhibit things.
If you're ever in this part of the country, be here around Labor Day. The 12 days preceding Labor Day is when Minnesota State Fair actually happens. So if you're ever here, we expect to see you out here at the Minnesota State Fair, enjoying a pronto pup, being on the Midway, or more importantly to us, being down here with the 4-Hers, learning about them, how they're great citizens, and what they're doing to help produce your food, fiber, and fuel.
Stockshow Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stockshow University, Sure Champ, Justin Discount Boots and Cowboy Outfitters, Showmaster Feeds, StockshowConfidential.com, Rogers Ford, EV Trailers, and Paragon Bed Covers.
What separates a champion from second place is champions don't have an off-season. Whether at home or before the big game, champions train and prepare to perform at their best. Sure Champ users have no off-season. They feed Sure Champ at home and on the road.
We feel that Sure Champ is something that will help keep those hogs on feed as they're hauled to different shows across the country, and just keep them healthy and on track for their goal in the end.
Feed Sure Champ because there is no off-season. For dealers, visit SureChamp.com.
Abigail Donkers, and I show Baby Doll Southdowns and Dorset Sheep. I am going to be a sophomore at Canyon Winnemingo High School. I love basketball. I play wheelchair basketball. I'm in FFA. I have been showing sheep since like 2nd grade. We do really well when we go to shows and stuff. We show at county fairs. In 2009, we were national champions for our younger division. I'm on the JV now because we can only be in the other division till you're 13, so then you have to move up. And we do pretty good. Spina bifida is where the nerves in your spine don't fully connect. So like when I was a baby, I had a hole the size like of a quarter kind of in my spine, and that paralyzed me from the waist down. I was in my mom's stomach still. I just look at the positive things in life. Life's way too short just to let it get you by. I want to be a teacher when I grow up and hopefully have sheep on on a farm or something. Just a couple. My brothers do like the feeding part. And then we all help like clip as a family and like get them ready for shows. And we work as a team to show them, and it's just family bonding. My parents are my biggest mentor. They've helped me a lot. The fair is a really good experience. I've learned a lot from coming to fairs and showing, and it's just a really great experience. So if you've never been to a fair, you should come check it out. You'll have fun. I got 2nd place out of 6 in my class, and then I got to try to compete for overall for all the species. Baby Doll Southdowns are known for their wool. They're a wool breed. They're the original Southdown. They only get to be 24 inches at the shoulder, so they're pretty small, and they're really good sheep to have around. My dad, he built a thing that goes on the side of my chair. It's like the headpiece from a trimming stand. So the sheep's head just goes right into that, and it walks right alongside of me. And I train it so it sets up the feet by itself, so I don't have to worry about it. And you have to work with the sheep a lot to get them used to it. Probably like an hour, like every day if you can. Don't want to tire them out too much, especially on a really hot day. My mom she used to live on a sheep farm and a dairy farm, and so it was kind of her thing to get into sheep, and she wanted her kids to be involved with it, so it was kind of her thing.
Baby Doll Southdowns, little contrast as far as type is concerned, but I tell you what, you study that little sheep right there, and she's really correct structured, isn't she? She's really correct as far as her structure is concerned. And as what's represented as far as that particular breed, she's got some really, really positive things. So that's the reason she's in 2nd place. She's correct, she's really level.
You can do anything you set your mind to. You set your mind to something, get it done. Don't hold yourself accountable for the things you can't do.
Well, friends, be sure and check out StockshowConfidential.com, our Breeders' Corner. We have the top lamb, goat, pig, and cattle breeders listed there. Check it out. EB aluminum trailers are the choice of serious showmen. Began in 1938, EB's among the most experienced livestock trailer builders. Family owned for 3 generations with dealers all over North America, EB will be there for the long haul. So it's no wonder you see more EB trailers and show lots than any other brand. Champions choose EB. Come choose yours.
Even though we're here at the Grand Champion Steer Show, we're really here in a youth development project. Think about the commitment of time that all the 4-H'ers have spent, not only in the champions, the reserves, the young people back in the barn, commitment of time of taking care of these animals. Sometimes it's almost been a year, morning and night. Yes, they've had help probably from family members, advisors, leaders, but at the same time, these young people have certainly put a step in the right direction, and that's why we understand that the ag community gets behind people, because they've been taught the value of hard work. And let's give them a real round of applause, each and every one of them here today.
Well, friends, I'm with the Kraus family here at the Minnesota State Fair, and well, you see the smiles on their faces. There's a reason for that. Stephanie here to my right just won the Grand Champion Steer, and it's not only been 1 year, that is 2 years in a row. Mom Lynn is over here on my right, and of course Dad Mike is over here on my left. And guys, tell me how y'all got involved in showing steers. And obviously, you know, with Stephanie, this is a special case, because not everybody understands that, hey, any kid can come in and do this.
Right. My husband and I both showed 4-H when we were younger, so we wanted our kids to have the same opportunities that we did. So when she got to be in 3rd grade, Mike asked her if she wanted to show cows at all, and of course she did. So that's how we kind of got started in doing it.
Mike, tell me, you know, whenever you have a special young lady like this, how difficult is it for the family? And, you know, whenever people roll in and they see that maybe something's just a little bit different here, but what's that feel like? And let's talk about that. You guys are kind of the spokespersons for disadvantaged, disabled kids that want to show livestock.
I guess Stephanie, we approached her. First thing come to mind was, how are we gonna do it? You know, she's in a wheelchair. She's got a 1,200-pound calf. We proceeded. I got an uncle that would be a great uncle of mine that we got a chair at home that we retrofit for her with a bar on it that she can pull her own calves around. We tried to advocate for not only Stephanie, but all disabled kids. That's what she lives for every day.
Yeah. Well, you know, as yesterday, as I watched her come out of that ring, and you see the big smile on her face, so you know it comes from her heart that it's something that she really wants to do. It's not something that you guys are you know, wanting her to do. This is her own idea.
Yep, and it is. Everybody asks if it's our dream. No, it's not our dream. It's her dream. It's the least as a family we can do for her.
Yeah.
Is supply her with what she wants to do. I can't forget to thank everybody that's helped us and Stephanie. When I grew up as a kid, them kids were kind of put in a league by their own. And today in school, even here, she's got a quote-unquote a fan club.
Right.
And anybody's willing to step up and help her,
yeah.
You know. And that makes us feel good as a family.
You know, I told you earlier I had a niece that was disabled, and I've always told somebody that if I touch 1/100th of the people that she touched in her lifetime, I'll consider my life a success. So I know that they're just great kids.
Yes, it is. And as you do get people that question you, why are you doing it? You know, it ain't something she's doing. To me, she does, because at home she's working with her calves. She does everything at home. We tie the calf to her chair, and away she goes across the farm. You know.
Yeah.
As a dad and mom, you don't see nothing. It don't make you any prouder seeing her go across the driveway dragging her calf behind her.
Right.
And that's what we want to be seen at the state fair, at county fairs, is that she gets to do it.
Lynn, tell me about whenever Stephanie was first diagnosed. Tell me about what you guys went through.
A wide range of emotions. She was released from the hospital as a normal newborn, so for the first year, well, 6 months, we didn't think anything was wrong. Started missing the milestones at about 6 to 9 months, and then at a year we went through the clinic, and that's when we were told she had cerebral palsy. And of course you do the why me or why her, you know, what did we do wrong? And of course the doctors can tell you, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just something that happens once in a while, but you know, as a parent, you want your kids to be perfect. All of us do. So yeah, it was a tough year for a while until you accept it.
As you can see, this really is a great lineup. We're going to review them time again. We're going to get your grand champion selected. I know you're all probably tired of me visiting about one more time, but it has been a pleasure. I really do enjoy the cattle industry. It's been something I've been involved with ever since I was young. Each and every day, we're out there with the cattle trying to build a better beast, and it's a privilege to do each and every day. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Stephanie Kraus.
I want to come back next year, see if you can make a three-peat. Do it 3 times in a row. Will you do that for me? All right. All right. Friends, thanks for joining us. We'll be right back after this message. You know, raising and competing show animals takes more than good nutrition. It takes determination, dedication, and hard work, traits that are hallmarks to leaders. And that's why Showmaster is proud to feed the potential of the youth leaders through their educational programs, award programs, and support of the 4-H and FFA. Showmaster Feed continues to build the legacy of building champions through their innovative feed programs and nutritional research. Showmaster Feeds. Feed their potential. You know, friends, we're here in the Miracle Birth Center. I'm along beside Dr. Smith. Now, Dr. Smith says we see one of these Holstein cows back here in the back, or dairy cow in general. Let's talk a little bit about mastitis, of what are some of the signs that you should look for in some of these dairy cattle.
Yeah, mastitis is still one of the more common diseases that we see, and that's inflammation or infection in the udder. So normally what you're going to see is you're going to see some swelling in the udder, some changes in the milk, clots and flakes and so forth. And of course, since milk is being sold to people, we don't want anything like that sold to them. So when we see signs like that, you know, then the animal needs to be taken out of the milking string and need to be treated. And normally, since it's a bacterial disease, we treat them with antibiotics. You know, one of the main things, though, that we really stress is prevention. Prevention is way better, and there's lots of new technology, but one of the oldest and simplest ways of preventing is still just keeping the cow clean and comfortable. And you can see these cows here from a 1,000-cow herd, and they're really clean. They haven't been washed or anything. This is how they are. He does an excellent job.
Right.
So,
Doc, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
All right, so good. I'm ready for the microphone then. All right. Well, she turned out well, did she not?
Friends, along beside me is Kelsey Musman. Tell me about the dairy cattle industry, how you got started in it, and sort of what the judges are looking for when you step into the ring.
Yep, I started showing about 13 years ago, and it all started on my dairy farm with my family and I. And through my learning opportunities, I was able to be involved in dairy judging, which helped me learn about what the judge is looking for in the ring. Really tall, stylish, deep-bodied animal with a great set of feet and legs.
We do have an educational approach to this, and it's called the PDCA Dairy Cow Unified Scorecard. And we do review that every few years to make sure we're staying current with changing times. The American dairy cow doesn't look the same in 1900 as she does now in this century. We've made great progress. So we look at that, and on that there are 4 different categories. Now I could go through them and break them down, but in the interest of saving time, Those 4 categories give us an outline of what we need to look at. But 40% is given to udder if they're cows. So we know that udder carries a lot of weight if you're looking at a cow. If you're looking at a heifer, you don't have that, so you're going to pay more attention to feet and legs and frame. But that's only 60% of the scorecard too, so maybe it's not the best udders, so you have to balance out 60-40 where those other 3 elements are combined and come from.
Something that is a little bit different when we go into the dairy barns is all the kids are in white in there. Tell me about that.
Well, in 1937, a guy decided that all dairy exhibitors were going to wear white, and it's just been a tradition ever since.
When they first come in the ring, the first thing we're analyzing is an overview. I like to see a profile of the individual, and then I have a close-up inspection where I watch how they walk. But the basic thing that we really look for in all cattle is, if it's cows, good uddered. Remember that. Straight-lined, clean-cut, functional feet and legs. And if you're talking heifers, just omit the first one on good udders. That's what they've got to be. And good udders mean they're firmly and highly attached with a correct teeth size and shape, also with lots of balance, high and wide rear udders, because the more high and wide they are, the more milk we can put in them, and a very strongly attached forudder. You should feel good that you're purchasing the safest, wholesome product that's ever been put on a table. Milk is tested any number of ways before it actually goes onto the shelf at the grocery store. We should feel good about it. We should feel good that animals are being treated humanely, responsible, with good animal husbandry practices. And sometimes I don't think the general public understands what we do at the farm. There is a logic behind most, so you can't just take it at face value. You need to hear not the science behind it, but the logic, the rationale, the emotions, because we are very much attached to our cattle.
You know, Kelsey, I know that you had a really nice honor bestowed upon you as far as Princess K. Tell me about that.
They picked the top 12 contestants in the state of Minnesota, and I was fortunate enough to have that position. So my head will be carved out of a 90-pound block of butter on September 2nd at the Minnesota State Fair.
You know, I had the opportunity to go over there earlier, and that's actually in a room that rotates around, so you've got people that are going to be standing outside watching you. We were burning up yesterday, and they were freezing in there, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, the cooler is set at 40 degrees, and you get carved for 6 to 8 hours, so I'll be in there, nice 40-degree weather while it's hot out here.
I feel that this cow, when she walks in the ring, she's kind of one of those that really catches your eye. She does have style and she has balance. I love how that goes together, that style and balance. She's just so straight line, clean cut. She has that beautiful profile when viewed from the rear. She's wider out through those hooks and pins and just blends together a little more nicely, and is also more nearly level, perhaps on the floor of the udder, than what our second place cow is. So a good class of cows, and looking like they're making a good grade cut and coming back and calving just as they should on the time frame for profitability.
Well, friends, thanks for joining us on another edition of Stockshow Confidential from right here at the State Fair of Minnesota, the Twin Cities, the land of 10,000 lakes. Now, be sure and join us next week as we bring you another exciting episode. And until then, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle.